get started with the first example. So this is given as minimize. This is the objective function. As we know, these are the constraints. 4 constraints are there, right? And then this is the non-negative constraint, which is always there. You already know about it, right? So let's quickly start solving this. So basically we are going to solve this problem by using the graphical method, right? How the flow is going to be? We are going to find out the coordinates for every equation and we are going to form a line out of it. Then we will find out the feasible region from it, okay? And then we'll see the solution, further solution, okay? So the first equation is nothing but we are going to remove the non-equality sign that is less than or greater than sign from all the equations, and we are just going to keep the equal to sign, right? That is also a valid condition. Say for example, x1 plus x2 equals to 9. So this is going to be my equation number 1. You might find in many videos that you one time put x1 as 0, find out x2, then you put x2 as 0 and find out x1. And this way you get the 2 coordinates, you join those 2 coordinates and you form a line. But then that is a lengthy method. I will show you the shortcut way also. So let's apply that trick. So I am going to divide this complete equation by 9, which gives me as x1 by 9 plus x2 by 9 equals to 1. My main aim is to make 1 on the right hand side. So I did it this way. Now I directly straight away got the coordinates. So whatever is below x1, that is nothing but my coordinate on x-axis, and whatever is below x2, that is nothing but my coordinate on y-axis. So I directly got 2 points from this. So what are those 2 points? Say A is a point which is x1 means 9 and 0, and B is a point which is nothing but x2 9, right? So x1 is 0. Yes, easy. So we will plot these points little later. First we will just figure out all the coordinates, okay? So first equation is done. Second equation is x1 is equal to 2, right? I am removing this greater than sign, so equal to 2. So straight away you get the coordinates C here. And what is that? x1 is 2, correct? So x2 is 0, correct? Next is x2 is equal to 3. I am removing this greater than again. So this is my equation number 3, okay? Instead of Roman, I will write it in numbers, okay? Now, so this is my point B, for example, which is what? x1 is 0 here and x2 is 3 here. Easy up to this? Now, let's go for the next equation. 20 x1 plus 50 x2 equals to 300. This is my equation number 4. Now, as I have done with the first equation, same way, I will divide this complete equation with 300 because my aim is to make 1 on the right hand side. So, when I divide with 300 to the complete equation, what it gives me? So, x1 divided by 20 upon this 300 is going to be what? 15, correct? 0, 0 is gone and 2 15s is 30. Okay, then x2 divided by 0, 0, 1, 6 equals to 1. Easy. So what are the coordinates which I got? So up to D it is done, right? So the next coordinates are going to be E and F. So what are the coordinates? So x1 is 15, x2 is 0 at that time, and then x2 is 6 and x1 is 0 at that time. Easy? Yes. So these all the coordinates are done. Now I am going to plot those on the graph paper. So before drawing, what do you have to decide? What the numbers you are supposed to write on these axes, right? On the distance of 1 centimeter. So you have to look at the coordinates for that. So it is 9, then 2, 3 is fine, 15. So like if you take the numbers as 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to write till 15, right? So better I can do it like 2, 4 or with the gap of 2 or with the gap of 3. So I would prefer doing it with the gap of 2 because lesser the gap, better is the accuracy, correct? So let me plot it with the gap of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Same way 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16. This is first quadrant, correct? So yeah, let's plot the points A and B first. So 9, 9, correct? So 9 would be here and then 9 would be here. This is my point A, this is my point B, correct? This is what? 9, 0 and this is what? 0, 9, correct? I am going to form a line out of it. So let me form it nicely. Okay, so this line is done. This is nothing but my first equation, correct? This is first equation. Second equation is what? C point, right? It is 2 and 0. So 2 on the x-axis, 0 on the y-axis. So this is my point C. That is nothing but 2 and 0. And because it does not pass through y-axis at all, right? That is why it is going to be parallel to y-axis. So it is passing through x-axis only. Correct? So this is the line. Now this is my second equation. Third is what? Point D, which is 0, 3. So it is on the y-axis. So this is point 3. This is point D, which is nothing but 0 and 3. So this is basically passing through y-axis. Correct? Is this the right way? And this is what? Equation number 3. Now equation 4, you have got 2 points here. So 15, 0. First is correct. 15 on x-axis and 0 on y-axis. So this is nothing but point E. E is what? 15 and 0. And F is what? 0 and 6. So this is point F, 0 and 6. Now again join these 2 points and you will get the line number 4. Yes, so this is my line number 4. So all the 4 lines are done here. Now you have to find out the feasibility region. You need to take those inequality signs into consideration, correct? So whenever it is less than, it has to be towards origin. Whenever it is greater than, away from origin, correct? So first equation is less than and fourth equation is less than. So for 1 and 4 are going to be what? Towards origin, right? See, look at the region now. If I do this, for this it is towards origin, correct? For this line, for line number 4 also it is towards origin, correct? See, after practice you would be able to identify it very quickly and easily, right? But for beginners I am showing it this way. Now this line is away from origin, so I am moving away from origin. This line is also away from origin, so I am moving again away from origin. So if you see, this is the common region, correct? It's known as the feasible region. Till what point we are done? We are done till F, correct? Let me name these points after F. So this is nothing but G, H, I and J. So what is my feasible region? G, H, I and J. Now I have to find out the coordinates of all of these 4. Yes, we have already seen that. So G is passing through the 2 lines. So what are line 2 and 3? 2 and 3 are straight away giving you the values of x1 and x2, correct? So this G point is quite easy for me. So what is that G point? It is 2, 3. Yes, 2, 3. Done. G is done. So after that H. Okay. Now you have to find out the H. So H is passing through which 2 lines? 4 and 2. So this is the equation 4 and this is 2. So 2 is giving you the value of x1 straight away. So value of x1 is 2. Correct? Because of this equation number 2. Put the value of this x1 in this fourth equation. You get the value of x2 plus 50 x2 equals to 300. So this 50 x2 equals to 300 minus 40. So this is nothing but 260. Correct? 50 x2 is 260. So this is gone. So this is nothing but 26 by 5. Nothing but value of x2 is what? 26 by 5. Okay. So what is point H? So for point H, x1 is clear, that is 2. And what is the value of x2? 26 by 5. Okay. So this H is also done. Now I. Okay. So where is it? I. So I is the intersection of which 2 lines? Line number 1 and then line number 4. So 1 and 4, these 2 lines you have to solve parallelly to get the values of x1 and x2. So solve those now. So what we'll do, we'll just for simplicity purpose, we'll simplify this equation by dividing by 10 to the complete equation, right? So it is going to give me what? 2x1 plus 5x2 equals to 30. Yes, so what is that? 2x1 plus 5x2 equals to 30. And the equation 1 is this. So what I'll do, I'll multiply this equation with 2. Okay. So what it gives me? 2x1 plus 2x2 equals to what? 9 2s are 18. Then subtraction. So this becomes minus, minus, minus. So it gives me 5 minus 2 is 3. x2 equals to 30 minus 18, which is 12. So 3 4s are. So value of x2 is 4 here. Now put that value of x2 in any of the equations. Let's put it in the first equation as it is easier. So x1 plus this x2 is what? 4 equals to 9. So that gives me the value of x1 as 5. So the point I is nothing but what? x1 is 5 and x2 is how much? 4. Yes. So this I is 5 and 4. I is done here. I is 5 and 4. Okay. G is here, H is here I is here. And next is what? J. So J is passing through which two lines? Line number 3 and 1. 3 and 1. So 3 is easy. 3 is directly giving you the value of x2. So put that value in the 1. Why? Because it is passing through 1. And then you will get the x1. So here straight away x3, x2 is what? 3. And now put this value of x2 in first equation. So that gives me the value of x1. So 6. So that's why you got this point J as what? 6 and 3. Yes, point J as 6 and 3. J is also done here. Now you got all of these 4 points. Now what you have to do? Put this in the objective function. So objective function usually you indicate by Z, right? So you have to find out the 4 values. What are those? ZG equals to ZH, ZI, ZJ. Okay. Once these 4 are identified, you would be able to easily identify the answer. So put these values in this equation. So what is the equation? 80x1 plus 120x2. So ZG means whatever are the coordinates of G, you have to put those x1 in place of x1 and x2. So that gives me what? 80 into x1 is 2 plus 120 into x2 is 3. So that gives me how much? 160 plus 360, correct? So that is 520. This is giving me 520. Yes. Now let's find out ZH. So 80 into something plus 120 into something. What are those somethings? H coordinate. What is that? 2 into 2 and 26 by 5. 2 and 26 by 5. Correct? Okay. So this becomes what? 5 goes and 5 2s are 10. 5 4s are 20. So that gives me ZH is nothing but 784. Okay. You do the calculation part. Okay. Now again ZI is what? 80 into this something and 120 into this something. So what is that? I 5 and 4. So this 5 and this 4. So 880. This is 880. Okay. And the last is what? 80 into this something plus 120 into this something. So what is point J? 6 and 3. So at point 6 and 3, 840, right? 840. Now you have to look at the objective function. This is the minimize problem, right? Means whatever is the minimum value or smaller value out of these, that is your correct answer. So what is the smaller value from all these 4, 5, 20? Definitely correct. So this is your final answer. So how do you write down the answer? That Z mean equals to 520 at coordinates 2 and 3, correct? G point. So 2 and 3 at points 2 and 3 is the optimum solution for given LPP. Okay. So this is how you have to end or conclude the problem. So yeah, I hope you like this example.